Today on Off the Grid, we are gonna cook us up a batch of crawfish bisque. Stay tuned. Okay, we got our roux and onions seasoning going. We're gonna go ahead and all my crawfish are real plentiful right now. We're in the middle of the season, so we had a crawfish boil yesterday, and I peeled quite a lot of crawfish to make this bisque. And like I say, when it's a lot of work, it really is. First of all, you gotta make the heads, clean out the heads. That's what your stuffing will go into. And I got all my crawfish tails and the little claws. I just add to the gravy. Now the stuffing we're gonna put in this little food processor with a little butter. We're gonna add some breadcrumbs, and we're gonna chop all this up real fine. That's what we're gonna stuff into these heads. Which you either add breadcrumbs, or the ideal thing is to add some crushed up French bread. Well, I got a loaf right here, but I'm letting it sit out to maybe firm up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be firmed up enough, so I might just use breadcrumbs. But and then we're gonna add got our Tonys, of course. Put a little Tonys in there. And a little bit more, and a little bit more. And also we're gonna add a little garlic. We're gonna focus in on that. A little garlic right there. To this we're gonna add a little milk and an egg and a little bit of oil, just to kind of, along with the breadcrumbs, kind of helps form up the bread will dry it out and give it a good pasty feel. That way we can stuff it into the heads. Alright, we've got about the last of the crawfish in there. Chop it all up. All our claws in there. This is the crawfish tails that are chopped up. I don't know why this one didn't get chopped up. I have to eat him. But we'll stuff that into the heads. Oh, there's a couple of little stragglers in there. Some onions from the crawfish boil. We'll chop some of that up, throw all that in there, throw everything in there. But that's the hard work right there, is cleaning these heads, cleaning all the innards out of the head, and then putting the stuffing back into it. A lot of work. We got that one chopped up. And we'll move on to the next step. We got our this will have to cook for a while. It'll cook for at least an hour. And see, I got some of the chopped up crawfish in there and some whole crawfish. So that's gonna cook for a while and reduce. Still got it cooking. I'm gonna add some this Not sure how available this is around the country, but it's basically breadcrumbs, but it's got other seasoning, dried bell peppers, other seasoning. It's got lemon, and I did cut up a lemon rind, ground it up along with the crawfish, so it does have the lemon is in the mix that we're going to stuff into the heads. But that salmon cake mix, we're going to go ahead and you can see how it's got some different seasonings in it, and we're going to add that to the stuffing as well. Regular breadcrumbs will work, but this Zatarain's, it has a lot more seasoning in it. Let's see if we can read that real quick. I don't think we're going to be able to focus on it. But it's got a lot of the same things that I'm putting in it. And they make two different types. You make the salmon cake, and then they make a tuna cake mix, which is essentially the same thing. But we just gotta mix up all the. That's not gonna be so easy with one hand. But we're gonna get all this mixed up. Get it stuffed into these heads. And we'll move on to the next step. Alright, now we're going to get our paste and we're going to stuff it in the heads. Tough to do it with one hand. What I'm likely going to do is maybe put the camera on a stand. See if we can get this right. Yeah, now we got it. Stuff the heads. All we take is a little bit of paste, and you just stuff it in there. The egg and the breadcrumbs and a lot of things help hold it together, and we'll also seal it when I'm done. To seal it, we drop it in grease and basically like deep fried just for a few minutes, just to seal it. That way it doesn't fall apart when you add it to the gravy. This is one of the labor-intensive steps. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Some people make it and sell it, and they'll sell it for like $25 a quart for Bisque. And I thought, man, that's just ridiculous. Till I made, well, this is my first Bisque, so till I made Bisque, I realized that she ain't charging enough. It's a lot of work. We'll be back in a second after I'm done stuffing these heads. Alright, we've got to run out of crawfish heads, so we just started. The easy way to do it, which lessens a lot of the work, is instead of stuffing it into the heads, you just make little balls. And that's what I had to do because I run out of empty shells. And either way is fine. I mean, they taste just the same, and they're prepared the same way. We're gonna, when I get this sauce finished, I'm gonna transfer that to a bigger pot, and then I'm gonna put grease into the pot, and we're gonna coat the heads and coat the little balls with either the breadcrumbs or just the flour, and you just want to sear it, because if you throw the heads in just like that, they're gonna fall apart. So you want to seal it in the grease. You know, some people bake them, and but I like to fry them. I just fry them just long enough to create a little shell on it, and it seals it. And then when you throw everything into the pot, it won't fall apart on you. But that's where we're at now. We got the shells cooking down. We got some of the leftover crawfish meat and breadcrumbs in the sauce. Oh man, that looks good. Boy, I tell you what, that is some good. It smells so good in here. I got the renters in my building. They're working on the front, and they come back here. What is that I smell? There's a lot of things you can Cajun cook, but this is like caviar, just for the amount of work that it takes. This is like Cajun caviar. And we did add a little cayenne. You need to add a little oil, you know. I'll put in a little bit of olive oil, soybean oil. Go through bunches of garlic. On to the next step. Now it's time to seal the heads. Got them going in the grease, a little olive oil, and just enough to brown them. I got my breadcrumb mix. I got some heads right there. I'm just doing a couple of little balls right now. These are some that are already done. All it does is it's there to seal keep them from falling apart when you add them to the gravy. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
Yet we're trying to leave something behind. Oh, my friends, I believe we are at the wrong fight, and I cannot read what I did not write. I've been to his house, oh, but the master is gone. But I'd like to leave something behind.